Wake Up Central starts now with the THV 11 Weather Impact Alert.
Good morning. Happening now. Traffic stalled in the eastbound lanes of I-40. This actually was the scene in eastern Pulaski County hours ago. Overnight, hundreds of 18-wheelers lined up with nowhere to go. A live report from the scene coming up in just a moment.
Meanwhile, we are waking up to ice-covered roads all over central Arkansas. And while the roads are the main concern, luckily we have managed to dodge any widespread power outages from this latest blast of winter weather. And we are still in weather impact alert mode here at THV 11, but the concern now is shifting from that wintry mix to this extreme cold.
Meteorologist Tracy Beene is tracking what is becoming some of the coldest air of this season. Tracy, good morning.
Well, absolutely. So all the precipitation has pushed out of the state, which is good news. Could see a little few flurries. Again, no real impact from that today, but dangerous cold is sticking around through Friday. That also means our roads are going to be a bit hazardous for the next couple of days. We have a cold weather advisory today. That meaning wind chill could be around -10 or so, and then we're looking for an extreme cold warning that will go into effect tonight at midnight through tomorrow at noon, and that means wind chills anywhere from -10 to -20. And so again, people, pets, and pipes. So make sure those faucets are streaming and make sure you're taking care of everyone and the pets included. We do have, as I mentioned, that extreme cold warning. That is going to be again tonight at midnight through tomorrow at noon. It's cold today and we need to be careful with that, but this is going to be very dangerous as we're heading into the next 24 hours. Tomorrow morning, we're going to see those single-digit temperatures, and we could also see, of course, those wind chills will be in the negative values. Currently 17 in central Arkansas, feels more like 2. Searcy at 13, feeling like 0. And then we've got northwest Arkansas. We've got Harrison at 5, feeling like -7. Pine Bluff 19, feeling like 3. It is so cold out there, friends. So the wind is blowing. It is making for a dangerous situation on the roads. And if you're just out and about for an extended amount of time, make sure you are layering and of course have the hat, the gloves, the scarf, the face cover. Looking for a little bit of sunshine today, not a lot unfortunately. Looking for that high today only in the mid-20s, and although we will see possibly a little bit of melting on the roadways just with people driving on them, there is a very hard freeze coming tonight into tomorrow morning. Again, we're talking about possibly single digits tomorrow morning. Those wind chill values again anywhere from -7, -10 here in central Arkansas, and we'll start to see a little sunshine, a little bit more tomorrow, although we're still looking for that high only in the mid-20s. But it is making for chaos on the roads this morning, especially Interstate 40, both directions. Again, make sure you're checking iDrive before you go out today. So just some tips here. Make sure you have a full tank of gas. Make sure you also pack a little travel pack that can have food, water, blankets, coats, phone chargers. Make sure you have a fully charged battery. We've got a few accidents already this morning, but mostly people are staying off the roads. But Interstate 40 again is causing all kinds of delays this morning. There have been folks that have been there since 1:30 in the morning last night when one of these accidents happened. But again, both directions backed up. So take your time. But overall, again, things are out of here, and we'll talk more about this cold weather and what you can expect as we're heading into the weekend coming up in my forecast.
Now let's get to that breaking news we've been following since we came on the air at 4:30. Right now, dozens of cars, trucks, 18-wheelers have been backed up for miles on I-40 in eastern Pulaski and Lono counties, many of them all night long.
Many also at risk of running out of gas on the interstate. Wake Up Central's Journey Taylor live along I-40. She has been all morning long at the Galloway exit, where hopefully things are moving, but it's been a stop, go, and when they do go, Journey, it's a snail's pace. Really bad.
Absolutely. Good morning, Karen and Hayden. I'm so happy that you guys decided to join us here on THV 11 plus on our live stream, because we have a little more time to really give you a better overview of what's happening. I'm going to start here to my right. Let's say that you're traveling from the Memphis area and you're going down 40. These trucks have been trying to head this direction for hours. A snail's pace is a good way to explain it. We're just slowly moving along. And here's the concern now. Those traveling on 40 trying to get to 440 as if you're heading towards the airport, right? They're having a hard time getting up that ramp. So we saw a moment where traffic was moving, but then traffic was back at a stop because a lot of the tractor trailers could not get up that ramp. That ramp was very slick, so we had a little stop. It appears now that they're maybe getting up that ramp and traffic is moving along. We're going to continue to pan down 40 here. so you can see what our next concern is. And hopefully we can also get this American flag in the shot so you guys can see how much wind we're also dealing with out here. It is very, very chilly. In fact, I think the feel-like temperature out here right now is 1 degrees, and I can tell you right now, I can feel that absolutely. But our next concern will be this truck, this semi that's flipped over to its side. Since we arrived out here around 4 a.m. this morning, this truck has been on its side, and there has been no progress getting it turned upright, simply because we have so many tractor trailers, cars coming through, and it's going to be a hard time for that tow truck to even lift it up and move it into an area where we can get it turned back around and back down the road. So that's been our other problem. So we're talking miles on miles of traffic that has been backed up for hours. In fact, let me just show you the problem and where it started. We recorded this video around 4 a.m. this morning. There was a jackknife truck blocking the ramp. We've heard from drivers overnight who called us in our newsroom saying, hey, we have been out here for hours. We may run out of gas from sitting here since 1 a.m. And this is why you keep hearing this advice from the Arkansas Department of Emergency Management.
If you can stay home, please stay home. We understand that there are times when you must travel, but don't follow too closely. Make sure that you're reducing your speed. Don't make any kind of jerking motions while driving, and just make sure that you are creating a distance between the vehicle that's in front of you.
Officials also say if you have to get on the roads, make sure you have a blanket and a full tank of gas in case you suddenly get stuck for hours with nowhere to go. And that has absolutely been the case here along I-40 in the Galloway area. So definitely going to be dealing with this for several hours. You know, even if we start to pick up speed, we can't go that fast because we have a sheet of ice on the ground. So we're never going to be traveling 70, 80 miles per hour on this highway in the next couple of days, just because of all the conditions we're dealing with. So definitely, if you don't have to get out here, if you don't have to go anywhere, period, even in your city, I suggest you don't, because it is definitely different than what we were dealing with in January when we were just dealing with snow. We have sleet, ice, and all kind of different conditions that we're dealing with. So definitely a lot to keep our eyes out on. And if we see anything else, we will be sure to update you as we learn more. Karen and Hayden?
Journey, I see the mess on eastbound, obviously heading into the metro and towards the airport. Westbound, though, looked like it was moving okay.
Yeah, and I'm happy you just said that. Am I saying it backwards? Correct me real quick. I'm going to give you a second to tell me.
Eastbound towards Memphis, westbound towards downtown. Yeah. I said it backwards. That was on me.
Okay.
Eastbound towards Memphis looking good.
Sure
Westbound, all right. Yeah, westbound's the mess heading into the metro.
Okay, perfect. I didn't want to get it incorrect. I definitely want to make sure you understand. If you're traveling in to the metro, that's where the traffic is backed up, but traffic is moving along, at least in this area. In fact, I think you guys have an update for us about what's happening going eastbound. I'm going to send it back to you so you can give us that update.
Oh, it's a mess. It's a mess out there for sure. Again, there is another major issue just east of Journey's location. Here's a live look at I-40. This is in Lone Oak, and again, you're not seeing any movement this morning.
None. Look at the right side. According to iDrive Arkansas, I-40 eastbound from Lone Oak to the White River is closed. It is simply too icy, too dangerous. We're watching this area and looking for any changes, and we'll keep you updated all morning as we keep track of this.
So you're getting problems both ways here. If you're going westbound towards downtown Little Rock, in that North Little Rock Prethrow Junction area, you're in a bit of a mess. It's trouble. If you're trying to go east towards Memphis and you get out of that area, well, you can see right here clearly the mess. So I-40, unfortunately this morning, it looks like a parking lot from Little Rock to Memphis. So please, if you're out there, take your time. We feel so terrible for the folks who were stuck in that situation. Hopefully they've got snacks, water, and enough gas to get where they need to go. And stay warm as well. Well, winter weather in central Arkansas didn't bring heavy snow like it did in January, but still those dangerous road conditions, as we just saw in Journey's live shot. With below freezing temperatures are expected through Friday, experts caution you could encounter some freezing rain or ice, especially on the back and secondary roads. RDOT telling us, quote, this isn't not a snow situation. This is ice, and it won't melt due to the cold and the lack of sunshine. City crews began salting and sanding roads Tuesday morning, but Little Rock Public Works Manager Eric Petty says icy side streets and steep hills will still be dangerous for drivers.
We are expecting it to have a lot of trouble melting it and getting it off the streets, especially in our hilly and shady areas. It's going to be some real dangerous driving for a couple days here.
Officials urge residents to avoid driving unless absolutely necessary, as even 1 or 2 inches of ice can cause serious accidents.
We have seen that overnight. As always, stay safe and take extra precaution on the roads if you have to get out. Arkansas Governor Sanders declared a state of emergency in advance to assist crews that are out there trying to keep everyone safe.
As part of the response, the Arkansas National Guard has been activated to help keep residents safe.
A total of 140 guardsmen deployed, forming 28 response teams, all dedicated to patrolling the state's roads.
Their mission includes assisting first responder vehicles if they do become stuck. However, they will not be aiding private vehicles.
And as Wake Up Central works to keep you safe and sound, the outside air staying below freezing means that cities and counties in central Arkansas are opening shelters to provide warmth and safety for those in need.
These shelters are available to anyone, including those without housing or those struggling to heat their homes. Now, in Little Rock, the Dunbar Community Center opened as a 24-hour shelter Monday afternoon and will remain open through the week.
Others, including Southwest, Stevens, and West Central Community Centers, will be opening daily at 9 a.m. until 6 p.m.
Lifeline Baptist Church, who we spoke to yesterday, will also offer overnight shelter tonight and Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 a.m.
And in North Little Rock, the Community Center on North Willow Street will remain open as a shelter until Friday at 8 a.m.
Additional shelters in Conway, including the Don Owens Sports Center and McGee Center, will be open through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. No ID is required and pets are welcome.
Potential power outages are still a concern for utility companies, even though the precipitation appears to have moved past us now. Right now, Entergy Arkansas officials are meeting in what is called their war room. They're monitoring the conditions with live outage maps and weather data.
They have also been working over the last few days to get ahead of the ice, which of course can cause those power lines to sag and eventually snap.
We've been going to our high-risk areas, trimming out additional line sections and ensuring that we're prepped and have minimal impact from this event.
Officials say if you do experience an outage, you can help by turning off major appliances. When power returns, a surge from space heaters or other high-use devices can put strain on the system.
And he also recommends keeping doors and windows closed to maintain the heat and improve your energy efficiency.
And with power crews keeping a close watch on conditions here in our part of the state, the impact of this winter storm looks a little different in northwest Arkansas.
Right. Take a look this time. This is a time lapse from downtown Fayetteville and the Square area. Snow beginning to fall Tuesday afternoon. And as you'll see, it quickly piles up and transforms the downtown area into a winter wonderland.
Not just the roads and buildings getting a fresh layer. The snow has blanketed farms and open fields across northwest Arkansas. Even the local livestock taking it all in stride. I'm sure it's a beautiful scene up there.
It is a pretty one, isn't it? Well, let's get back to meteorologist Tracy Beene. We're going now from the wintry mix into the deep freeze. Tracy.
That's right. We have all the precip out of the state, which is great news, but it left behind some hazardous road conditions, and also looking for that to continue because we're not going to jump above freezing until some parts Friday, but most of us on Saturday. Currently 17 in central Arkansas, right around 2 degrees, and we are looking in the northern portion of the state again 5, more like -7, at 19, feeling like 3 in Pine Bluff. So again, bundle up if you do head out this morning. We are looking at those winds that are adding to this coldness. If you go out there, it is freezing. We are looking at just around 15 miles per hour, a little around 20, 25 for Stuttgart. Again, this is making that wind chill drop a little bit more. That is why it feels like those lower single digits out there. Now for today, your hour by hour, we will see maybe a little pop of sunshine here and there, but not a lot. And we're not really looking for a lot of melting today, which is unfortunate. So those hazardous road conditions are to continue. We're only looking for a high today in the mid-20s. So as we're heading into Thursday, we are under an extreme cold warning, and we're looking for those wind chill values to drop anywhere from -10 to -20. I think probably in northern Arkansas, more of that -19, -20, but we will certainly feel the impacts of that in central Arkansas as well as you're waking up tomorrow morning. morning, we're going to have temperatures 10, 11 degrees. And then again, starting to see those temperatures again only in the mid-20s or so. So not a lot going on, and those road impacts are going to be high today. And I think tomorrow too, because anything that melts today is going to refreeze, a very hard freeze overnight into tomorrow morning. So tomorrow afternoon may be the best time for a good significant freeze. But again, we are refreezing again overnight into Friday. So that's something to keep in mind. And as we have noticed, we are looking at some road conditions out there. So if you are headed out, make sure you have everything you need. We are going off to break here in just a second, but we promise to be right back with more of your weather and your news for this day. All right, thanks so much. We are looking today to start out very cold. We are looking for all the precip to be out of here, which is great news, but it is 17, feeling like 2 degrees out there this morning, so bundle up. And even better, we are looking just to stay home today because this wind is making things feel even colder. Your day is not going to see much thawing at all. We are looking for a high today in the mid-20s, but again, as we're heading into the evening hours, the overnight hours, things are going to continue to refreeze. We've got a hard freeze headed our way. We'll wake up tomorrow morning possibly in the single digits, and as we're heading through your day, we're looking for those temperatures around the mid-20s. We'll start to see a little bit more thawing tomorrow, but don't forget, as we're heading into the next day, Friday, we're still not going to go above freezing. So road impacts are high, and again, make sure you stay home if you can, and if you head out, make sure you have everything you need.
Welcome back on THV 11 Plus this morning. It is 7:19, and of course we were talking about those frigid temperatures and the layer of ice that is outside. Power crews are keeping a close watch this morning.
Outages have been limited so far, but the conditions could still cause some problems down the road. Rob Rodell with the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas is joining us once again to talk about how the grid is holding up. But before we get to the grid, Grandpa Rob, tell us about this video you have of your new grandson, Liam Kincaid.
Thank you so much. Liam arrived, as you may or may have already learned, when you're having a grandchild, you kind of are like, it's kind of like watching
Tuesday
the weather.
Morning,
You go, I hope it does
morning.
this and that, and then it kind of does its own thing, just like always. But
anyway, you're a new grandpa.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you Ma'am Karen. That was horrible. I hate it when people call me sir. But He arrived at 2:18, and Peyton asked me a second ago, I think it was Monday morning, the best I can tell. Whenever you're in the power business and the weather starts doing what it's doing, it's sort of like being in the broadcast business. You just kind of go into auto mode and try to remember everything you're supposed to say and not supposed to say. So hopefully that's good.
Kincaid, is that a family name, the middle name Kincaid?
No, that's actually his. So my wife and I, it's our second marriage, but we're all from Bryant. Her ex-husband and I are good friends, and
nice.
Everybody's good. Skylar is his Liam's mother is from Bryant, and Andrew, Liam's dad, is also from Bryant, and so everybody grew up down here, and so we all know each other, and it's just a great place, and I'm sure Liam will enjoy growing up down here.
Well, if he was born on Monday, let me tell you, Rob, that's a very important date because he now shares a birthday with Tanner Balgavy, February 17th, the best birthdays.
Yay!
I love it. I love it, man.
Two brilliant young men.
Future broadcaster.
Let's go. Let's go. Well, hey, we got you on the spot. Congratulations. We're so happy for you. A couple of future Red Wolves. That's what I'm talking about right there, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I do want to talk to you, though, if we could talk a little business. I know we've talked about the grid and everything this morning. These temperatures are going on, but how are we doing? I know it's going to be cold over the next few days, but what you guys are expecting as far as getting everything back up to normal speed?
Yeah, so far things are looking very good. And as sure as I say that, something bad's going to happen. but things are looking very good so far. It looks like Mother Nature decided to give us a break this time. But as I said once again, during extreme cold weather, we have to look at issues at our power generation facilities as well as our transmission lines, and sometimes, you know, if there's the least little fault in a ceramic insulator or something, it can disrupt things. So I would ask that people just be patient in the event that the power goes out, because I think, as we've proven already, we battled outages all night last night, and we've got everybody back on pretty much as much as we can right now. But just keep in mind that I promise you, any of our men and women that are out working in this would rather be at home with their families.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And we certainly appreciate everybody's support.
Well, I could not believe the numbers when I saw them this morning. I thought, is that correct? I was like, it's only that little, you know, 1,200, 1,300 flirting around that number too. But again, you have to remind folks and ask folks, listen, it is well below freezing. These folks are usually up in the air. The wind is strong. I mean, I know it's tough when the power's out. We all hate it, but pack your patience and think about these folks who are getting this thing done. Oh.
Rob, what is the biggest challenge for your teams out there? But is it the cold and the icy conditions, or is it trying to work with equipment when you have gloves on your hands? What do they face?
Well, the men and women are actually trained to be able to operate. So what people don't understand sometimes is if we're working a power line situation hot, which means we're working to restore something, but we're not wanting to shut electricity off for people. The men and women that are actually up on the lines, they'll have rubber gloves, rubber sleeves, their eye protection, their ear protection, their head protection, as well as leather gloves on. And so they're gripping tools to do this. And as I'm looking outside, I'm thinking it's very cold too. And so these men and women are very, very professional and very, very talented, because when they come upon a situation like an outage, they have to quickly assess and determine the best plan of action, plus staying safe the whole time. Because the thing about electricity, it takes less than a half a second to unfortunately, it can get very unfortunate in less than half a second.
Oh, goodness.
Well, these folks are amazing. They're doing incredible work, too. And, hey, they got to keep the power on for that new grandbaby. So we're making sure everything's great. So, Rob, you're my hero.
Well, they're Baptist for a few days.
Okay, gotcha.
With the weather, but I appreciate that, Peyton. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And congratulations to the whole family, the Rodell family, everybody down in your neck of the woods. A lot of folks are happy with that new little one.
Congratulations again. Hey, we're going to take a quick pause here on THV 11 Plus, but you're going to see a little behind the scenes here. Tracy will be doing her live weather updates. That's on Channel 11 during CBS Mornings. So you'll see that here on Plus, and we will, of course, be right back with much more here on THV 11 Plus.
Well, good morning. All the precipitation is out of the state, which is good news, but it left behind some hazardous roads and some very cold temperatures. Currently 17 in central Arkansas, feeling more like 2, 13 feeling like 0. We've got negative up there, 5 in Harrison, feeling like negative 7, a little bit south of the metro, 20 in Arkadelphia, feeling like 6. Again, that wind is what's doing it here. We're looking for those windy conditions to continue through today, bringing those wind chills down. It's currently around 15 miles per hour. We're seeing 25 in Stuttgart, and we've got Pine Bluff right around 20. So today we're going to see a tiny bit of sunshine, but not a lot of melting, unfortunately. We're going to start to see these temperatures only rise into the mid-20s. Now we will see very little melting, like I mentioned, and as we're heading into Thursday, we're seeing some very cold temperatures settle in overnight. When we wake up tomorrow morning, we are looking for possibly some single-digit temperatures in central Arkansas, around 10, 11 degrees even. And as we're heading into the afternoon, we'll start to see a little more sunshine, and again, looking for that high in the mid-20s once again. So we are looking for dangerous cold to stick around for a few days. Now keep in mind, we went below freezing yesterday as we were on Wake Up Central, and we are going to stay below freezing at least through Friday, and more than likely it will be Saturday. But those road impacts are high. We are seeing areas that folks are having to sit on the interstates for, again, 1:30 in the morning until now. They're just now starting to move. So keep that in mind as you are heading out. But again, luckily we're seeing all of that precip push out of the state, which is great news, but we're keeping that weather impact alert for the hazardous road conditions and also that extremely cold, dangerous temperatures that are continuing to push through into Friday, but we see some warming as we're heading into the weekend. She's frozen at this point.
Hello. Oh my God, it's cold.
It is.
Excuse me, welcome back this morning. We're on Plus. We're feeling Plus this morning.
Yes, we're having some fun on Plus, and we're keeping you weather aware of all that you need to know, because a variety of things have happened this morning. I-40 has been a mess. You've probably heard us talk about that.
Yes.
This morning, we're keeping you aware of the many different effects of a winter storm like this one.
And for good reason. We have seen wrecks, power outages. The airport is adapting as well. No shortages of impacts to talk about. But another element of this that is interesting to consider is the science of exactly what's happening.
And so for that, we turn to our meteorologist expert, Simone Thomas, out in the weather garden, braving the elements for us. Simone, good morning.
Good morning. Now, we've been talking throughout the morning of how cold it is, how dangerous the roads is, and as you're waking up and you're taking a look outside, it's easy to look at the depth of what's on the ground and underestimate the danger that we see. Because I mean, last month we got 9 inches of snow. This time around, we barely got a full inch, but you have to remember, before we saw the snow, we had freezing rain and sleet, and that was because as that wintry precipitation started falling yesterday afternoon, we did have that little bit of a warm layer that was pretty low in the atmosphere. At the lowest, it was around 4,800 feet, at the highest around 8,100 feet, so that was about 3,300 feet of temperature, slightly above that freezing mark, which gave us that freezing rain when it made it to the surface. Now throughout the afternoon, that warm layer closed in, so we saw a little bit of a transition to sleet around 4 or 5 o'clock. And then last night, by the time we hit the 10 o'clock show, that's when we started to see straight snow that lasted until about 3 o'clock this morning. So even though the depth of what's on the ground isn't as thick, you have to consider we've got a layer of ice and then that snow packed on top of it. So regardless of if your car has 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, with that ice on the ground, it's going to make it hard for even the best tires to get that traction. So that's going to make for a slippery slope when it comes to those travel impacts, which we've seen through the morning. We've talked at length about the hazardous travel conditions, and as Tracy mentioned numerous times this morning, we're staying below freezing until Saturday at best. So that means what's on the ground, the little bit that is on the ground, is going to stay on the ground for several days. So take us seriously when we say avoid travel, stay home if you can, because these roads are going to stay dangerous for the next several days.
All right, Simone, thank you so much. A little science behind everything, too. And I know we talked about it. Just, my goodness gracious, you battle between
elements.
the snow and the ice and the freezing rain. It's easy to get confused about what's worse. Sleet, freezing rain, snow. What do we want? What do we don't want?
Definitely freezing rain is going to be the worst because it's falling as rain. You think, oh, it's just raining. But when it hits the surface, it immediately freezes over. And that's what we started with yesterday, was the freezing rain. And then again, at some point it transitioned to sleet, and then we got to snow. But that we still had that layer of ice under all of it.
Right, and that snow can confuse you thinking it's just snow when there is ice between it. But the road crews have done an amazing job pre-treating, getting that brine in there and that rock salt too. So thank you, Simone, for another perspective of this weather picture.
We're going to get back to some breaking news we've been following since we came on the air this morning. Dozens of 18-wheelers finally inching along. Of course, it's been stop and go all morning long after being stuck all night on I-40.
Wake Up Central's Journey Taylor and our photog Chris Ross are live at the Galloway exit. They have been all morning since 4:30 this morning with a look at I-40. Journey, bring us up to date. I'm trying to see some movement behind you. It seems like the eastbound lanes that were the problem, are they still moving slowly or moving?
Yeah, absolutely. We are coming to you every 30 minutes or so with a different story. And it's just an active scene out here. While we have most of those trucks moved out of the way and they're on down 40, we now have a truck that's trying to get out of the ditch or the side of the road. I'm assuming that they pulled over when all the trucks were backed out, but this truck down the road here with it appears to be logs on the back of their truck. They're kind of stuck in spot, and you can't really hear over our mic, but we can hear out here that they're trying to rev it up and trying to get out of this little side of the road, this little area. You can kind of see it now. Perfect. But yeah, it's been hectic out here, to say the least. Traffic moving along okay now along I-40, but we got a truck that's trying to get out of the side of the road. We still have a truck that's flipped over onto its side. There was a tow truck out here trying to help get it out, but it has taken off at this point. So we're still working to see when they're going to get this truck turned back upright and turn the other direction, because it's actually still facing the wrong direction. I want you guys to take a look at these videos. We had several wrecks over the night. I-40 seeing several wrecks overnight. Clearly still some slick spots out there. According to spokesperson Dave Parker, they did have a good 48 hours of pre-treatment here in Central Arkansas, putting down the super brine. Once the precipitation started to hit in this area, they put down rock salt. Parker says the key point, though, is for drivers to be aware the road conditions look much different than what we dealt with in January.
I want people to understand that, this system is different, and that we're talking dangerously cold temperatures here. I mean, when it's 5 degrees, wind chill of -5, you don't need to be out in it. If you have to get out in it overnight, early morning, people have to work. I understand that. Plan accordingly. But this is not a system where we have 6 inches of snow and it's 35 and melting the next day. It's going to be here for a couple of days for sure.
Now, as a reminder, Parker says to be sure to plan accordingly and stay informed. That's the big thing today. If you have to get on the highways and interstates, don't forget that handy dandy tool that is iDrive Arkansas, where it indicates what you're specifically dealing with in each area. And actually, you guys, I really would love to see if we can bring Tracy or Simone in on this. I was under the impression that we were done with precipitation here in central Arkansas, that it has moved out. But if you can see it on the camera, I think we're dealing with some more snow. So it's just going to be an active day, clearly. You guys got an answer on that for me?
Yeah, Journey, we are looking for just a very light. We're going to see that in fluttering through. Again, not looking for any accumulation or any impacts to add to what we already have. Again, just that cold weather is producing just a few little flurries. So again, not to worry. It's all, for the most part, out of here already.
Yeah, Tracy, thank you for that update. Not to worry is a great way to put it, because I think when you have to stand out here and, of course, you're feeling the temperatures like, oh, what is to come, what is to come? It is quite chilly out here, so definitely Karen, Hayden, Tracy, and Simone, I hope you guys are warm back there at the studio, of course, as we learn more updates or get more things happening here at I-40. We'll be sure to update you guys, okay?
All right, let's check those roads out there. We are looking at Interstate 30. This is around the Vimy Ridge Road exit, 127. This is eastbound, impacting that left and center lane, of course, the shoulder as well. It looks like that truck may have just had some trouble coming up the hill. Maybe we're not getting any additional information on that, but we can see that tow truck there. But it is beginning to back things up again. For the most part, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here and let you see. We are seeing overall pretty good weather. And as far as the weather goes, it's not impacting traffic too much. I'm going to take these cameras off here real quick, and you can see we do have the Interstate 40 issue, and then we will jump up here as well. This is going to be an accident that is eastbound, affecting all the lanes on 30. Let's get a camera and see what we are looking at there. Pull that up for you. This is on University. Oh heavens, look at that. So yes, so this is going to be on University, at that University exit on 30. This looks like it just happened. The accident icon just popped up. So if you are on 30, again, if you're around that University exit, looks like we are looking westbound, so they will be traveling eastbound. Looks like that is certainly backed up. Again, we're not seeing a ton of accidents this morning, because the ones we're seeing are causing all kinds of issues this morning. I'm just traveling around a little bit further here. We'll look in North Little Rock and see what is going on. Again, folks are moving. Wow, I wish they drive a little slower, honestly, but overall, people are doing a good job. We are seeing these road conditions. They're okay, but again, we need to stay home, because we are looking for this to continue. That below freezing temperature is going to continue as we're heading into Friday, and then we're seeing a very hard freeze as we're heading into the overnight hours tonight. So anything that does melt today is just going to refreeze tomorrow morning. So I do expect conditions to be a bit hazardous tomorrow morning as well. I want to go ahead and jump along here. We'll take a look at the river bridge. That is always a scary thing. I grew up in Maumelle, and going over the river bridge when it was icy always made me nervous. But yeah, looking there, it looks like folks are traveling well. But even with those areas, we are worried about black ice. Again, it's a bit shiny, so don't mistake that for being clear roads. So just take your time today. Again, we are looking across the entire metro. We've got some ice and that slushy road. And again, those accidents that are happening are causing quite a bit of trouble. So stay safe, friends.
Tracy, thank you. And as we continue to work to keep you safe and sound, several locations across central Arkansas are opening warming shelters. Minutes ago, we have shown you a list of locations in Little Rock, North Little Rock, and Conway. Now here are some others to know about. In Benton, the North Side Church of Christ is opening its doors to those in need, and they'll stay there until Thursday at noon. Go ahead, Hayden.
First Presbyterian Baptist Church in Jacksonville also offering shelter until 8 a.m. on Thursday. Meanwhile, in Pine Bluff, Opportunity House will remain open until Friday at 7 a.m.
And then finally, the Community Place in Cabot is keeping its doors open until Saturday at noon. If you know of any warming shelters we can add to our list, please, we invite you to email us to web@thv11.com.
And with those below freezing temperatures expected through Friday, experts do caution you may encounter sheets of ice for days, especially, of course, on those back roads.
RDOT telling us this is not a snow situation, it's ice, and it won't melt due to the lack of sunshine and the cold.
Now, city crews began salting and sanding those roads Tuesday morning, but Little Rock Public Works Manager Eric Petty says icy side streets and steep hills will still be very dangerous for drivers out there. Of course, we talked about that and those church openings as well. Again, here's some information for you in Benton. If you do need a place to stay warm this morning, we have talked about it as anybody may need a place or whatever you need. Please, please, please take advantage of these amazing places that have opened their doors when you need to warm
centers.
up.
We do have a full list of them on our website as well, thv11.com. You can find a warming center in your area if you need one. And officials do urge residents, if you have to get out, and some people do, then even just 1 or 2 inches of ice can lead to serious accidents, as we've seen some all night long.
Absolutely. We urge you, please be cautious, be safe, stay home if you can. Not everybody can. And of course, when you do see those emergency vehicles as well, be sure to move to the side and make sure that those folks can do the job that they have to do.
Yes. Arkansas Governor Sanders did declare a state of emergency in advance to assist crews keeping everyone safe.
Now, as part of the response, the Arkansas National Guard has been activated to help keep residents safe.
A total of 140 guardsmen are now deployed, forming 28 response teams. They are dedicated to patrolling the state's roads.
Here's some look at those vehicles now. The mission includes assisting first responder vehicles, as we mentioned before. If they get stuck, these are the folks that help out. Now, again, though, they will not be aiding private vehicles if you get stuck in your car.
Well, good morning. If you will remember, we dropped below freezing yesterday when we were together for Wake Up Central, and we are still below freezing, and that will continue through most likely Saturday. That means we are looking at below freezing temperatures for 90 to possibly 100 hours. And we're looking at this pushing in tonight into tomorrow morning to be bitter cold and extremely dangerous. So today is going to be one of those days we're going to need to make sure we are protecting pipes, people, and pets, and make sure those faucets are streaming, especially in the overnight hours. And tomorrow you may have to do that for a little while during the day as well. But stay safe, keep checking on each other, and of course the pets as well. We do have that extreme cold warning for tonight at midnight through tomorrow morning. Now, today we are under this cold advisory, meaning we're going to see those wind chills that could be as low as -10, and we're seeing those temperatures very cold this morning. But tonight at midnight into tomorrow around noon, we will have that extreme cold warning, and that means we could see wind chill temperatures anywhere from -10 to -20. Now, I think -20 is going to be a little bit more into the northern portion of the state, but we're going to have to just, again, keep an eye on each other over the next couple of days. 17 degrees right now, feeling more like 2 in central Arkansas. We are looking at 18 feeling like 0 in Stuttgart and 18 feeling like 7 in Hot Springs. It is cold out there, and those winds aren't helping anything. They're actually lowering that wind chill and making it feel a bit colder. We've got some windy conditions again around 25 miles per hour in Stuttgart, 15 here in central Arkansas. Our day might see a little sunshine, but we're not going to see a big thaw today. Again, looking for only a high of 26. That wind is going to keep us feeling much colder, and tomorrow morning you wake up, we could have those actual air temperatures being right around that single-digit mark, and those wind chills will certainly be in the negative values. And again, only looking at that high in the mid-20s, but we will see a little more sunshine tomorrow. But still, anything that melts tomorrow will refreeze for Friday morning, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Those road impacts are going to be high. Make sure you let somebody know if you have to go somewhere, because we are looking at those extended delays as we've seen this morning. So make sure you have a full tank of gas and pack the essentials of food, water, blankets, coats, phone chargers, and just make sure you are extra safe. All of that precip is out of the state. Again, as Journey was mentioning earlier, we see a few areas of just some light flurries, but overall not anything impactful today. But we are seeing those snow and ice reports. We're looking through northern Arkansas, can be anywhere from around 6.5 to 7.5, 8 inches. And in central Arkansas, we didn't see a ton of snow. We saw that sleet first that came through and made that layer of ice, and that very light freezing rain we saw as well. But really just looking at anywhere from 1/2 inch to just less than 2 inches in central Arkansas. So not a lot of snow, but it's still very dangerous with the snow and then the ice. But around the state in Baxter, Newton, again, Izard and counties, we're seeing anywhere from 3 to 6. And again, talking about the National Weather Service in North Little Rock came in at that 1.8. So again, text us your pictures, and we are looking to showcase those as well, and let us know what you are doing today, again, on this very icy day. 376-111. That 7-day forecast, it will get a little warmer, but we've got a few cold days ahead. Now we're going to take a quick break here, but stay with us. We're going to have more on THV 11 Plus in just a few minutes. Well, good morning, friends. We are starting off this day with very cold weather. We've got all the precip out of the state, which is good news, but we are looking at very cold conditions to continue throughout the next day, hour, and tomorrow as well. We're looking for an extreme cold warning. That means we could see those temperatures and the wind chill values -10 to -20. Right now, it's 17, feeling like 2, but we're not going to see a big thaw today. Only looking for a high around the mid-20s, and tomorrow morning we get started in the single digits and only looking again for that high in the mid-20s. Yeah, that one popped up. I was just, yeah.
This is winter weather coverage on Wake Up Central.
Good morning. We are taking a look at these roads out here. I have iDrive open here, and we can see we've got ice and we've got a bit of snow all over our central Arkansas roads. And these little triangle icons, the red ones, are accidents that we are looking at. I wanted to zoom out here so you can see everything from Jacksonville to Saline County, central Arkansas, of course, and heading out to Mayflower, Conway area. But we'll zoom in here a little bit, and I want to take you to this area right here on University. We do have an accident that we are watching. Again, we are looking at the University Avenue. This is exit 132. This is on 30. Looks like we've got a jackknife trailer truck here, and they are starting to possibly pull that out, but things are moving very slow. So if you are on Interstate 30 around that University exit heading eastbound, expect delays. And this is what we were talking about with the roads. Although we're not seeing a ton of accidents just yet, the ones we are seeing are making a tremendous impact. We've had Interstates 40 last night, as Journey has talked talked about all morning that some folks have been out there since 1:30 in the morning. So I'm going to jump over here to that Galloway camera here and let you see. This is one of the accidents, and I know they are still working on cleaning that up, but I see now we've got another truck that has veered off there onto the shoulder and is in the grass. And then if you look just to the left, that is going to be that truck that is overturned. Again, they haven't been able to get out there just yet and do much with that, but this has been backed up since 1:30 in the morning. And then we of course had some issues, and you're heading towards Lonoke County as well. But you can see that flag just there in the far right blowing. It's very breezy out there. Some of the trucks are having issues making it up ramps as well. That's one of the issues that we have found. But as far as accidents go, again, there's not a ton of them, but we are looking the ones that we are having causing a tremendous impact. But again, this is folks that are heading downtown. For the most part, people are going slow. Don't let the fact that we just got a little bit of snow keep you thinking, oh, the roads are going to be fine. We've got a layer of ice under there as well. So again, take your time this morning and stay safe. And if you are getting out, make sure you have everything you might need just in case you are delayed on these roads, as we've seen with several of these accidents so far this morning.
Of course, Wake Up Central works to keep you safe and sound, and with the outside air staying below freezing for days now, cities and counties in central Arkansas are opening shelters to provide warmth and safety to those in need.
These shelters are available to anyone, including those without housing or those struggling to heat their homes. Now in Little Rock, the Dunbar Community Center opened as a 24-hour shelter Monday afternoon and will remain open through the week.
Others, including Southwest, Stevens, and West Central Community Centers, will be open daily from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Lifeline Baptist Church will also offer overnight shelter tonight and Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 a.m.
And in North Little Rock, the Community Center on North Willow Street will remain open as a shelter until Friday at 8 a.m.
Additional shelters in Conway, including the Don Owens Sports Center and McGee Center, will be open through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. No ID is required and pets are welcome.
We are also keeping an eye out. Any potential power outages are a concern for utility companies. Right now, Entergy Arkansas officials this morning have been in what they call their war room, where they've been monitoring conditions with live outage maps and weather information.
They've also been working over the last few days to get ahead of the ice, which can, of course, cause those power lines to sag and eventually snap.
We've been going to our high-risk areas, trimming out additional line sections and ensuring that we're prepped and have minimal impact from this event.
Officials say if you do experience an outage, you can help by turning off major appliances. When power returns, a surge from space heaters or other high-use devices can put strain on the system.
And they also recommend keeping doors and windows closed to maintain heat and improve your energy efficiency.
And with those power crews keeping a close watch on conditions here in our part of the state, the impact of this winter storm looks a little bit different in northwest Arkansas.
Take a look at this. We have a time lapse for you from downtown Fayetteville. Snow began falling Tuesday afternoon, and as you'll see, it quickly piles up and eventually transforming the square into a kind of a winter wonderland.
And it's not just the roads and buildings getting a fresh layer. The snow has blanketed farms and open fields across northwest Arkansas. Even the local livestock taking it all in stride.
Just another winter day.
Well, students on the U of A campus have been making the most of the snow, tossing around the football and soaking in the winter weather. But tonight the action moves indoors as the Hogs hit the road for a tough test on the hardwood. Arkansas taking on #1 Auburn down on the Plains, looking for a signature win to boost their NCAA tournament resume. And right now, projections, they are kind of all over the place. Some brackets have the Razorbacks sneaking in, while others have them on the outside looking. Well, I got to tell you, a win over the top-ranked team in the country would go a long way for their chances for the postseason. Tip-off set for 8 o'clock tonight on ESPN. Also, Mother Nature throwing a curveball in one of Oaklawn's biggest weekends. The racetrack announcing some schedule changes ahead. Friday's card will now be moved to Saturday, so no racing on Friday. That means the Rebel Stakes, one of the Oaklawn's biggest races of the year, it's going to be moved to Sunday along with the rest of the cards. One of the best racing weekends of the year. Then Sunday's races, they're going to slide to Monday. So again, no races on Friday. Everything slides just one day. And then you got the big stakes race on Sunday. And hey, if you got tickets or reservations, Oaklawn is issuing automatic updates and refunds. One of the best weekends in Hot Springs, and I cannot wait for those warmer temperatures to enjoy the Spa City.
Yes, we do not want them held on a day like this. So good for them for moving it. And when you say a card, you mean the whole slate of races?
Oh yeah,
moves.
it's an unbelievable shift. So again, normally the races are Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so it just moves one day. So those cold temperatures on Friday gets everybody a better chance on Saturday, Sunday.
And then the weather gets better too.
If you got Monday off, go to the races. There you go.
It might be your lucky day. We want to get back to some breaking news that we have been following since literally we came on the air at 4:30. It was happening. Dozens of cars, trucks, and mainly 18-wheelers backed up for miles on I-40 in eastern Pulaski and Lonoke counties. Many of them stranded there all night long.
And let's get to Journey Taylor now live at I-40 at the Galloway exit.
Hey, yeah, we just talked to Tracy maybe a good 5-8 minutes ago, and she gave you guys a good overview of what's happening here. This is just a better look, a closer look at what's happening along I-40. Traffic back moving just fine now along I-40, but we still have these 2 tractor trailers that are stuck, one on the side of the road and one that's actually flipped over on its side here in the median in between I-40 if you're in the Galloway area. So if you have to get on the interstates or the highways, know that, yes, RDOT did treat these areas, but it is still slick out here, so take your time. And before you head out, make sure you visit iDrive Arkansas to figure out what area is dealing with the most traffic and maybe how you can avoid that area and also the conditions happening in that area. Karen Hayden, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, Journey, thank you so much. That's going to do it for us here on THV 11 Plus. Tracy's got another update on these cold temperatures coming up in just a minute. Thanks again.
Well, good morning. Looking at these temperatures, it is cold out there, friends. Little Rock coming in at 16, feeling more like 1. Again, 13 in Searcy, feeling like 0. We've got 5, feeling like -8 in the northern portion of the county. A little bit warmer in Pine Bluff, but it still feels like 4 degrees, so bundle up as you're heading out today. These winds aren't helping a thing, friends. We are looking for winds. These are sustained winds, around 16 miles per hour. Still seeing that around 25, 20 there in eastern Arkansas, and so that's making it feel a bit colder out there this morning. Today, we're not going to see a lot of melting, unfortunately. We're not looking for those temperatures to rise above freezing till Saturday. If you'll remember when you were with us yesterday on Wake Up Central, that's when we dropped below freezing yesterday morning, and we're going to stay that way. We are looking for a little sunshine today, but again, no significant melting, and so we're going to see a deep refreeze as we're heading into the overnight hours. For your Thursday, we're waking up very low, waking up those temperatures possibly 9, 10 degrees, and then we're going to start to see a little more sunshine, so we could see a little bit more melting tomorrow. But again, those wind chills tomorrow morning are going to be anywhere from -10 to even -20 in the northern portions of the state. Those road impacts, well, go ahead and make sure you have a full tank of gas, and if you are headed out, make sure you have plenty of food, water, blankets, coats, and phone charge because as we've seen, those roads are being delayed at times with just a few of these accidents, and you could be out there for a while. And we are looking at most of this preset being out, as Journey mentioned earlier, seeing a few flurries, but again, not looking for any big impacts from that. But we're going to keep this cold weather around all week long, hazardous road conditions as well. By Saturday, we're going to start on a warming trend.
Nate Burleson. Coming up in this 8 o'clock hour, a new women's basketball league. Have you heard? Features some of the biggest names in the game, and it's a whole lot of fun. Skylar Henry takes us behind the scenes.
Republican Senator Tom Cotton calls TikTok a dangerous spy app and China an evil empire. We ask him why he's sounding that alarm and talk about the controversies of the Trump administration.
We've also got a powerful story for Black History Month. I met with a civil rights pioneer whose sit-in at a segregated diner helped change our nation.
We're going to begin, though, with this hour with a polar vortex bringing life-threatening cold. It is so cold in the country, especially in the central U.S.